Hey everyone, it is Saturday night. Woo! September 22nd. It's not Saturday Night Live now. Um,
It sounded
but
like that for a second.
I
Is
know.
that what you're
Um,
going for?
yes,
Okay.
exactly what I was going for. I always wanted to say that. I mean, come on, who doesn't know? So it's September 22nd, Saturday night. We just finished the Sabbath. Had a wonderful, wonderful Sabbath with the family. Went to see my parents and our friends. It was really a blast. And we're,
Rejuvenating.
yeah, very
For
rejuvenating.
anybody that doesn't know what the Sabbath is, we are Orthodox Jews and we observe Friday night to Saturday night, a time of rest, no phone calls, no business, no nothing. It's
And
just a time
reconnecting.
of reconnecting and relaxing and enjoying our families. So,
Yes.
um,
Disconnecting. I saw it disconnect to reconnect.
yeah, exactly.
So that's where we were today, and now we are going to speak about where we were on our last live
Video,
stream.
yeah. I
Uh,
think it was the 17th. We were talking about design and profitability, and this is going to be a little bit of a series of what we're going to continue talking about. Um, what we focus on as interior designers is not just, creating a beautiful aesthetic to your space, but also making sure that you're profitable at the end of the day. That's really important to us. And it's not something that we overlook when doing any kind of redesign.
Right, and it's not just really important to us; it's obviously really important to you. So which is
Right.
why we're talking about it. We want to make sure our designers that we deliver, that we really, bring home the goods. We make you guys as happy as possibly can
Look
be,
good.
and make you guys look good and make money. That's our hopes for you guys, that you are successful in your endeavors and that you have that that income to be able to support your life's dreams. So that leads into the question on, well, how does design really increase profitability? And I believe that before we can answer that, the first aspect that we need to discuss is there are several major key factors that increase profitabilities, and the one that we are going to focus on specifically is repeat business. Repeat business is one of the main tools that allows a business to become profitable. Most people don't aren't aware of that, but an average, and that's a stat you can look up online, an average about 40% of a business's income comes from only about 8% of their customers, which is their repeat business, which is insane. That's a huge stat, and increasing that percentage, that little 8% of clientele by about 5% can increase your profitability by up to 95%. I mean, that's
It's
huge,
ginormous. When you told me
ginormous.
that stat, it was really staggering to me, and it was really clear. More and more as we dig deep into the statistics that are out there. I mean, you guys can do your own research, see how much aesthetics, not just in interior design, but
Across so
across
many
the
fields. I mean,
yeah.
from hospitality, which is kind of obvious, but even towards selling, real estate, towards
There's a whole
um,
industry,
staging.
staging.
Yeah,
There's a whole industry
huge.
created just using interior design to help, sell homes more.
And as I say, make more money.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's really really huge. I mean, if you think about merchandising and you think about so many industries, and it really crosses over to also different platforms. I mean, the aesthetics that we create really parallels a lot the platforms of digital design,
Right.
which you see in your your digital real estate, right? So that's a lot of what we do, and it's super important to realize that now that you recognize these staggering stats of how tremendously impactful repeat business is on your business, and how increasing that repeat business can be even more valuable in terms of investing, right? Businesses spend so much money on getting new clients, when if we spend the equal amount of resources, if not even more, on repeat business,
Right.
we can be making more, because every time someone spends, an average, they spend more every time they spend. So you really the investment is better spent. Obviously, you still need to bring in new business. That's just part of growing a business,
Right.
but increasing that repeat business is
It's
just
huge.
as important, right?
Yeah.
And so how do we do that? And one of the biggest impacts on repeat business, surprise, surprise, is your design, right? Consistent online to offline, aesthetics. People make a lot of their huge amount of their buying decision on aesthetics when merchandising is all about that,
Yep.
right? On the
Think about
easy and
storefronts.
storefronts, right? It's so much the ease and kind of intuitive use of your space is a huge piece of the ability of people choosing to come back to purchase by you. They like shopping by you. They like the feel, the energy, the branding speaks to them. It connects to the right audience, right? So you get more of that business, and just doing these little things, um, it's tremendously impactful towards your bottom line. And the question that I really wanted to discuss today is, that makes a lot of sense when we're speaking, B2C, which is business towards, clientele, right?
Right.
But does that really work when it comes to like B2B, which
Yeah.
is business to our other businesses?
Yeah. It works across the board in any and every industry out there, like, period. Even in, commercial real estate where um, you're selling to, I mean, you can have clients leasing from you that are fellow business owners, and they're renting out your space, they're leasing out the space, and you want to make sure that that space, when they come in, that it looks amazing,
Mm.
because when they come in, you can sell. It depends on who you're selling to, but if you're selling to a higher quality client, somebody who really cares, not higher quality client, but somebody who cares about quality. Somebody who, that's important to them. Um,
That's
you know,
interesting because a lot of times I think about commercial real estate. I think warehouses. I think about like I don't know, garbage disposal areas. Like I don't have necessarily like this clean tidy environment in mind, but but offices, that's commercial real estate.
right,
Law firms, accounting firms, investment firms.
right.
You have people who do aesthetic surgery and other there's a lot of.
Basically, anyone coming in, anyone renting the space from you, first of all, you want to make sure that you increase repeat business, right? Your repeat business is occupancy. Every year that you sign a new lease with that, with that tenant, that's repeat business. So the longer
and
that
and
they
it's
stay,
consistent business
right,
because if they leave, then who knows how long it's going to take until you fill up that space again, right?
right.
So
Especially if it's not updated and it's not modern, and you have splintered floors or things look outdated. There's a lot of competition, especially in the metropolitan areas. Anywhere there's a lot of competition, and this is the trend. This is where everything is going. If you're not up on the trend, if you're not updating your space, if you're not creating a welcoming environment, that your tenants are going to want to invite their customers and their clients into, then you're leaving a whole bunch of money on the table, and potentially, putting yourself in a lower price bracket. Just by, having an outdated space, you're not going to be able to rent it for as much. And again, that goes back to profitability. And definitely your tenants, especially if next door or not far away, decides to update and market that space now. They update it, and now they're marketing, they're advertising that space as newly renovated, and ready to receive new tenants. It's not going to be long, before your clients are going to leave and go to that new space, because that's the trend and
so
that's the
it's
trajectory.
kind of like when you have when you do luxury apartment rentals or any apartment rentals, right? And you really want to make sure that you're attracting tenants that are going to care for their space. You're going to attract tenants that are going to value the work you put
Right.
into there,
Taking care of your space is
right?
huge.
And
Yeah.
and you know that if you have an apartment rental where you're not you're not doing that, where it's not cared for, people are generally going to be
Right.
dissatisfied. The energy in the building isn't going to be a positive one,
Right.
and that drives people to want to leave, especially people who are more positive or growth minded. It's not a place that they can see themselves long term. It's just a temporary station. So I guess kind of like commercial real estate in a sense can be kind of like a higher level of that, especially since there's codes involved, there's safety. So
Right.
if you develop a space that modern with modern safety elements, that's upkept, that's
Technology
technology, right?
integrated, yeah.
Maybe instead of getting wood that would splinter, investing a little more on
Porcelain,
porcelain
wood look
tile.
tile.
Yeah, something that depending on your tenants. But yeah, you want to make sure that the work environment is safe, it's easy to maintain,
Right. Easy to
people
clean.
easy to clean, because I mean that's a huge selling point, all these different aspects. Because even if clients aren't coming into the space, right, it's not necessarily for the business's clients, it might be for their office workers. But the energy in the space really affects productivity,
Right.
because like UX, in a website I read once that UX, people think it's only for user experience. We think about the end user in terms of clients, but we forget that the people who are in the business end are using it. They also need user
The
experience.
employees, yep.
Yeah, you need to make sure that using your software, your platform, it makes the job of the employees easier. Like we just updated our our flow for inboard for onboarding new clients, and we made it much easier for our employees to put in the information and to connect with them, and so we know what's the next steps. Make sure that we give our clients attention that they need at the right time. It's super super important that these things are seamless, so nobody falls through the cracks, nobody feels left out. And in our space we want to do the same thing. Really, we
Right.
want to make sure that our clients coming in, if we have commercial real estate, right,
Right.
that they're happy there, that the energy is good,
Right.
it feels safe, it looks clean, it looks modern. And that the tenants that are going to come in, right, especially, yes, it might cost a little more, but the tenants are coming in are willing to pay a little more
Right.
to
To
have
have
these
that space, yeah.
to have that space, to have these safety
Right.
features,
And I would imagine that it looks good on the portfolio end of things as well, as far as, appreciating. I mean, we don't know in detail a lot about the investment side of things. That's definitely something that we love R&D, we love research and development and learning everything that there is to know about every
absolutely.
industry out there and how, we specifically affect it. But I would imagine also on the appreciation side of things on a property, that having a portfolio where your your tenants are paying top dollar, premium as much as you can, obviously, and you're able to show that this property is making a lot of money, and in turn,
Being well maintained,
right,
right? Because if your tenants are paying, a premium, and they're not just paying the minimum, right? So that means you have the funds then to really upkeep it, modernize it regularly. We know in hotels and many
invest in new
industries,
properties from
right?
right
What's
from
the
that
and what's the name in the hotel industry when you have
PIP,
the PIP, right? What's PIP? It's your what is that for again? It's your
property
property
investment
investment
plan.
plan, right? So that makes sense. Your
Hmm.
property investment plan. Do you have a property investment plan for your commercial real estate, to make sure that your tenants, were kind of like your hotel, renters, that they're happy there and that they're going to keep on coming, and then they're not going to say, hey, if you want to attract a high end law firm or a high end, investment firm, that they say this is the best place in town. Like, I love the service here. I love that there's someone on the front desk constantly saying good morning and taking care of my
Right.
people. I love that things are so easy to bring into the building and take out, or whatever it is
Right.
that's important to your audience.
Definitely not for the investors or developers that are looking to cut corners.
Yeah, yeah, definitely not for people looking to cut corners. I know, but do you think that applies also to commercial properties, maybe that aren't as generally aesthetically conscious. Like, what if it's like, warehousing? I know a lot of places, companies would rent out refrigerator warehousing or other type of warehousing. Do you think that they are concerned with these aesthetics and just usability of the space?
So, number one, I think usability is always important. Functionality is number one. You know, how can people best utilize a space in order to get those fridges, from thinking about, assembly line kind of, workmanship, what's the easiest process, what's the easiest flow, are things organized, are they well labeled, are things easy to find, is it a good work environment? So,
Or is it, if you're doing like large commercial, let's say, frozen fish or something like that, and there's, these ginormous, industrial size refrigerators, or freezers to hold a lot of that product. We know that companies, that warehouses that store refrigerated and frozen product, they charge a premium. But imagine if you were able to, to begin with, right? But imagine if you were able to create a warehouse that just made it very easy to bring things in, take things out,
it was
in
organized
an
in a very,
organized
yeah,
way, that it's safety, that there's,
right.
all these different elements that are important. I'm sure that for a company that really was concerned about their employees and the quality of the product, making sure that the systems in there are constantly updated and maintained, make sure that the refrigerators are in order, that the product doesn't
That
spoil,
you can process
and
things also and have a great, because you can't track what's unorganized. If it's unorganized and it's not properly functioning,
if you can't track it, you can't improve it, right?
exactly. And
So
and many people don't understand, and which is something that I'd like to touch on, is that interior design is not just the aesthetics of your space. That would be decorating. But whereas interior design comes in functionality, it's the structural aspects, it's the functionality aspects. It's not just, putting a nice few pillows on the sofa and some curtains. It's taking the whole thing into consideration, everything, the
although
usability of the
although having
space.
a great first impression is really, really important.
Of
Like,
course.
you're walking into a modern looking warehouse, that the place, you could see that they really took care of it, they painted it recently,
Right.
that it's well maintained. You're not likely to have issues with the refrigeration system or air conditioning or other elements in the warehouse. But you're coming into a place that has a smell like mildew or mold. The place clearly hasn't been maintained in decades. You could see cracks and paint is peeling or whatnot. That, like, there's a much better chance that things are going to go wrong. And if you're going there, it's probably because it was cheaper, and that the quality
Right.
of what you're getting is not going to be that great. And if you need a place temporarily because you're looking to save some cash, maybe you'll go there, but it's not where you want to stay long term. Now, if you are the person renting that property and you want people to say, hey, I know I could stay here for a long time because the quality here is great, the service here is great, the place looks fabulous. I could see that they're taking care of it. I
The
see that they care.
offices that are set up for the employees.
Yeah, everything looks nice. There's plenty of light coming in. We know that light is very important when it comes
Yeah.
to productivity. Um, there's a sense that you can tell when you walk into a place right away if they care. Say in
Right.
the restaurants, one of the first place you should check is the restrooms, right? Because when you see a place really cares about the restrooms where nobody really sees maybe right away, you can see they're probably taking care of all the other areas as well. So there's always certain tells, right? And obviously, though, when you walk into a restaurant, you could have a bit of a tell as well.
Right.
Either could see if the place is dingy or places well kept. But it's just
And that's what your bottom line, that's what your tenants want to see, and really, to answer your question, it really depends on who you're catering to.
right. Are you the budget
Are you the
commercial realtor, or are you
right,
or are you where you are
or
the
developer
or
or
developer, right?
investor?
Investor, right?
Yep.
Or are you the address for people who are going to be more serious about
Are
their space
right, and
and
are you
want
willing to put in that money up front in order to see the returns and dividends on the back end, like,
right?
at the end of the day. That's it. And so therefore interior design, strategic interior design specifically to increase your profitability and your repeat business is really almost applicable across the board in every single industry out there. And we are really passionate about designing commercial spaces for that reason, because though my training is in interior design, I am a business person first, and I really believe in helping businesses create a more profitable business through the designs that we create.
Aside for that, it's so much more satisfying knowing that the services that we provide are helping people in an impactful, meaningful way that they can connect to. While we can really design amazing residential homes, it's not as directly impactful to the client, because your business is your livelihood. It's your future investments. It's your dreams. For many people, it's their passion. It's like a child, to them. And and our design directly impacts those results, right? When we design a home, yes, it impacts your living space and the energy and the flow and making it very easy to use, but it's not quite as directly connected to what's really hurting you at the end of the day. And if you are a growing or mid-sized business, and you're past these survival stages of like this small business, like I need more clients, and you're really wanting to create more sustainability, you're really wanting to create more time for you to focus on your own life and work-life balance, right?
Right.
You want to grow, maybe. You need profitability. And if you need profitability, you need repeat business. Is one of the most important aspects for
Right.
profitability. If you want repeat business, you need to show up as a business that deserves your clients coming back and shopping there again. The other guys got nicer digs.
Yeah.
The other guys got
Exactly.
a new, more updated
Right.
place, and I could get for the same price, or maybe a little bit more, something even
Yeah.
nicer.
And just
You
imagine the investment portfolio. If you do this across multiple locations, how much more is your portfolio going to be worth? How much more impressive is your portfolio going to be? How much more can you sell the business for?
Right. Imagine you
You
could
know,
become, if you're not already, you could become a brand, and become as oh, this is
this is the
another.
developer.
Right. This is
This is
these are
the investor,
another property from this developer. Of course, he's got top end, high end,
or
brand,
she.
or she. They have an amazing brand. They care
Yeah.
about their spaces. They care about their tenants,
Yeah.
and
Reputation.
creating that
Yeah.
reputation. Right. A lot of it is dependent on how well you take care of your space and how
And
much you
then
invest in it.
and that then it's such a ripple effect, because then that will affect you getting more loans, and
And being more profitable,
yeah.
right? Because will be more comfortable spending money in a place that's more reputable, and with an
Right.
individual, with an investor, or other people that have a better reputation.
Yeah.
It's just common sense, right? So if you can create that reputation, you can show that you care, that you're investing, and that you're really, you have an eye for detail, which is where a lot of where design comes in. It's just going to constantly show and say,
Right.
hey, this is the person we want to come back to. This is the person we're comfortable spending our
And
top,
staying
hard
with.
earned,
Yeah.
right, our hard earned cash with. And yeah, it's definitely your address. I think we are way over our time limit for today, so we'll call it a day.
We are usually, because we just have so much to say about this. But if you guys like this video, please make sure to like it, leave a comment.
Feel free to share it.
Yeah, definitely subscribe, so that you can get notifications. Hit that notification bell.
Just to be a little tacky, the subscription button is, like, I think down there.
Over there
Over
somewhere.
there.
It's somewhere. We would love to hear from you. You can always get in touch with us, info@hadarinteriors.com, or go visit our website, www.hadarinteriors.com. We look forward to hearing from you guys. Have an awesome rest of your day and an awesome week coming
And
up.
and another note, just a reminder, if you are a developer or an investor, please leave your comments. We want to hear more from you. We love always learning and
Yeah, we
understanding more
really
about the
enjoy
industries.
hearing more,
Yeah,
hearing.
tell us about your business. Tell us about, if we got something wrong, we would love to
Correct us.
correct us. Yeah, teach us. We want to learn. We want to be able to serve our
Yeah.
our audience and our clients the best we possibly can. So we are always looking to hear and to learn and to to have different vantage points on what we do, and we are constantly looking to improve. So please share, comment, and just be you. Be awesome.
And enjoy. Bye, guys.